Although 797,444 candidates registered for the PLE in 2024, the results indicate that a number of distinctions have dropped in all the subjects. This has raised questions about the quality and equity of education in the country. Now, to help us unpack these results, we have Dr. Mary Goretti Nakabugo, the Executive Director at ED Uganda, a non-profit organization which studies learning outcomes across the region. Dr. Nakabugo, welcome to NTV tonight.
Thank you, Betty.
Yes, now today PLE was released, but like I earlier said, there was a concern of a decline in distinctions across the country in most of the subjects. So what does this say about the results that were released today?
Thank you very much. First of all, congratulations to all the candidates and their parents and teachers. I think when you look at the decline, we need also to consider the other factors. One of them, if you look at the performance, for example, in English, one of the most underperformed subjects is English. Yes. And there we are talking about also foundation, the foundations that support learners to learn better in other subjects. Okay. So if children don't know how to read, they won't be able to read the questions, read and understand questions in other subjects. Okay. And this also takes us to, because that is a reflection of what is happening in the lower grades. For over 15 years, our organization has assessed learning and has indicated that actually quite a number of children are not acquiring those foundations of reading, arithmetic, and so on. And once those foundations are not there, it cannot be quite a miracle that later on they actually perform well.
Actually, so, it makes sense when someone can't read. Obviously, they won't understand what what's on the questions. But also, we realize that this year, you know, Kampala has been the epitome of success. Right. Like when results come out, people expect Kampala to be on the top. But this time around, the tables have turned, and we are looking at urban centers leading this year's results. What does that mean? Where are we headed? Because when you look around, school heads, parents are saying their students are being undermarked. They claim their students are being undermarked. What is going on?
I'm not so sure. We don't have evidence on that one, but also the fact that there was a change in terms of not a change, but that aspect of looking at the responses of children, whether they are applying the knowledge to problem solving and new situations. And so that was quite a new dimension, which could have got some children off guard. Okay. But also when you look at the performance, it's true, there's a variation between rural, urban, the underprivileged or disadvantaged districts. I think most of the underperforming districts are in the north at this time, because that also has a reflection on other factors, the socioeconomic status, the ability of parents to afford, because most of those districts also have a very small percentage of private schools, very small percentage of early childhood development centers or nursery schools, which also give a foundation. Even where they exist, only a few parents in those districts actually can afford to take them there. So there's quite a number of factors that are actually attributing to that variation in performance. In terms of the change in, or that addition of looking at the competences, is actually a very good one, because all along we have been talking about Kampala and also children just memorizing. When you add that dimension of looking at problem solving, how they apply, yes, they've been taken off guard this time, but teachers in future will actually teach to those competences. We are looking at problem solvers. We are looking at people who can innovate in different situations.
Okay, now we look at girls continuously outcompeting boys. Yes, we've always talked about the girl education, but this time around we've seen it again, and it's been happening, one of these. So what are some of the systems put in place to see that at least it comes up to a balance? Because we see boys failing in English, that they're not performing well in English. So briefly highlight on that. Actually,
overall, the girls, performed better in English, but overall the boys outperformed the girls. Like, if you look at the grades that matter a lot, Division 1, Division 2, I mean, if combined, you have more boys actually in those grades, and then you have more girls in grade 4, ungraded where you don't want your child to be. So overall, you have more girls actually entering the system, like 53% compared to 47%. But when it comes to learning outcomes, the boys still are outperforming them. Yeah. So we shouldn't celebrate that. Yeah, we are done. The girls are already there. Now look at the boys. We must ensure that all children are supported to access education and learn.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Nakabugo, and we are glad that we had you today to help us elaborate and highlight on those concerns that have been raised after the release of the results. We are glad to have you tonight, and NTV Tonight continues. And